So I was wrong. Yeah. So if you might remember a video I did, I don't know, when the first trailer dropped for the Joker 2 movie, I was like, this thing is going to win Oscars. I thought, judging by how the first one was super great, a lot of people loved it and won all the Oscars. I was like, oh, they're going in this musical direction. Well, that was then. Obviously, I didn't know what the movie was about or what was going to happen. And now the movie is out. And I was wrong. I don't know. This is not going to win any Oscars. This is going to lose money probably. This is not going to be good. How do you go from something so huge to just so awful? Like, just talk about terrible direction and everything like that. This this Joker movie is just gotta be in shambles. It's universally hated and disliked. Most people do. I'm sure there's always someone out there that'll like it, and think it's the best movie ever. But yeah, it's. I mean, this. So, the first movie cost $55 million to make, and they made it about Joker. It's not quite his origin story, but let's say it's artistically interpreted as Joker's origin story. So this movie was never supposed to be a big movie to begin with. $55 million. It just was really good, well received, and it went on to make $1 billion off a $55 million budget. $1 billion. It was meant to be a one-off. That's it. Directed by Todd Phillips. Well, what happens when a studio makes $1 billion film? Well, they have all that money. I mean, those executives need another yacht, and they need another house, and another castle. So they go back to Todd Phillips, and Todd Phillips is like, no, I don't want to. The story ended, which pretty much the story did end. It's done. It's over. I don't want to make it anymore. But they're like, but you see, I have this thing in my pocket, $20 million for you to make another film. And then Todd Phillips is like, well, I could use another yacht, another house, another castle. So then Todd Phillips accepted that $20 million to make Joker 2. Normally when a director or a writer or something like sets out to make a movie, they have an idea in their head and it just won't leave them alone. And so they keep on, they go like, I got to write this down, or I got to make this in the movie, or whatever, a song, whatever it is, film. And so they make it because it's this idea that they need to do. When you go in to make a movie and you don't have that, and then someone's like, get that idea, you can't just poof, there it is. So he didn't want to, but when they gave him $20 million, that's what they gave him to do it, he goes, well, I do have an idea. All of a sudden, I have one. So that's what happens. His heart wasn't in it. It was a cash grab, 100% cash grab. Joaquin Phoenix, he doesn't like doing sequels either. So they backed up that dump truck full of money. I don't know what he got. It's probably around the same. And they're like, look, you won an Oscar for the last one, made all this money. Plus you'll get some back end, all this kind of stuff. Here's $20 million. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, I love doing sequels. I think Lady Gaga got like $15 million or something like that. And, the rights, all that song. Anyways, this budget went from a $55 million for the first one all the way up to $200 million for the second one. So now you're looking in the range of like Avengers. That's basically what an Avengers movie cost with all that CGI. People said they do not understand where that money went in this film, and it probably just went to Todd Phillips, Joaquin Phoenix, Lady Gaga, and the rights for all the music. I thought it'd be like a musical. Most musicals, you watch them, and the problem with musicals is unless the music is good, you just push a lot of audience away. So you got to have good songs. So they went with, okay, instead of writing our own songs, why don't we just use popular songs that already exist? Okay, but the reason why you do a musical to begin with is because you use the song to tell the story. But this was more like, here's the story, stop, let's just put in a song, continue on the story. Might as well throw in Blink-182 in there. Doesn't matter. It doesn't go with anything that's happening at all. And so, yeah. And there's a lot of them. And so now it just feels like you're stopping a movie to watch a YouTube video of a song, musical, done, and then the movie starts up again. So it's always a stop and start, stop. So, yeah. I mean, it wasn't well received, especially who's your audience going for? This is Joker. People want to see Joker. They want to see him murdering, killing, just being maniacal. It depends what kind of Joker you get, but which, story of the Joker is. There's many iterations of Joker, but that's generally what you're looking for. Just anarchist, burn everything down, just causing mayhem wherever he goes, not dancing and singing. So definitely a different take for sure, and it didn't work. The movie has made less money than Morbius. Yes, Morbius, that awesome movie that everyone loves, and is the pinnacle of all good storytelling. So, opening weekend, Abysmal. I think internationally and domestically, it's made 121 million opening weekend, and you might say 121 million. That's pretty good. So this is how it works. People seem not to understand. If your budget is 200 million, that's your production budget. Then you have marketing. Marketing is usually the same as the production budget, depending on the movie. So a big movie like this, you might spend 150, 200 million just marketing it. All right, then the theater takes a cut. Now the theater, depending on your relationship with the studio and the theater and all that kind of stuff, they take anywhere from a third to a half of the ticket sales. So even if it's a third of the movie, right, 120 million, 40 million went to the studio, or to the theater. So yeah. You end up having to do about a little over double, like 2.5 times production budget just to break even. So really this needs probably about 500 million just to break even, somewhere around there. So it's out on 121. Now you might think like, oh, it has plenty of time left. That's just the opening weekend. But the thing is, it has one of the worst Metacritic scores or something like that, where basically they pull people as soon as they get out of the theater, and it's like a D. And which is very, very low. D, you might think, oh, D is great because of David, or it's above an F, but it really doesn't work that way. Most terrible movies get like a C. Really good movies will get an A minus, somewhere around there. It's bad. So, and most people do not like it. No one is telling their friends to go see it. Every single review I've ever seen of it says, don't watch this, save your money. It not only is it bad, but it ruins the first film. Now, how does it ruin the first film? I don't want to give them spoilers, but it does. And so it's all dumb. It's just dumb. It doesn't need to happen. This movie didn't even need to happen to begin with. And there it is. I would not suggest going and watching it unless you don't really care that it ruins the first film. And yeah, what I will suggest you go watch is The Wild Robot. Fantastic film. You should definitely, it's a 10 out of 10. I'll do a whole review on it just because that's how good it is. And it has nothing to do with comic books, and it's a comic book channel. 100%, I would definitely go watch it. That has like Rotten Tomatoes for critic and audience for the Joker 2 is in the 30s. They both agree. That's weird. The critics and the audience both agree that Joker 2 is crap, giving it a 31%. And Wild Robot basically has 98 and 98. Yeah, so the critics agree on both movies. Just one is bad. So I would definitely not go watch it. It's not good. Save your money. Go watch something else. Go watch The Wild Robot. Yeah, so I was wrong. I thought it was going to be a great movie. I think it was going to be a huge hit. I mean, I am a Joker fan, but this is not the Joker. At least not the Joker that you would want him to be. They just really need to resurrect Heath Ledger and bring him back and make a movie about him. That would be much better. I'd rather see that movie. Well, he would be a zombie. But nonetheless, I think Todd Phillips basically had no idea and was just doing it for a cash grab. And he just, on a weekend, just wrote some stuff down like, yeah, this is good. And I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I read somewhere that for the first Joker, they would kind of get on set and they didn't know exactly what they're going to do. And so they kind of made it up as they went along. Like they had an outline and everything like that, but like day to day, they'd be like, oh, we're supposed to do this. Well, what if we did this? Oh, what if we did this? And they kind of did that too. So they probably had like a weird outline. This is a very basic outline. And then day to day just kind of improvised and didn't work out at all. And yeah, a lot of improvisation. No, improv. I guess I don't even know how to say it. I guess improv. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, it just is a failure on all accounts, and it kind of sucks that this happened to the Joker. We want to think if it happened to some random movie I could care less about, but the Joker, I'm like, yeah, no, that's a bad taste in everyone's mouth. And they're like, they're not going to want to go see anything else. You just kind of ruin the character. And that's crazy to go from like $1 billion to base. I don't know. This thing will probably finish off at like maybe 300 million worldwide or something like that. 350. I don't know. But it's bad. Have a great day.